Happy Thursday, Eagles Nation. Welcome to today's episode of Bud. Today was the last day of mandatory minicamp for the Eagles, and they will not meet again. Will be scheduled to meet again where they have to show up July 28th, I believe. So, exciting day. Exciting 3 days we had here. You know, this team always making headlines with the Sam Bradford drama and all that. Carson Wentz and, Fletcher Cox and Darren Sproles maybe holding out, but they didn't. They showed up, which I thought they would. So, it's a very exciting mini camp. A lot of good things came out of it. You just got to see a lot of good stuff. But the thing that stuck out to me the most was Sam Bradford saying that he's going to hold an open workouts in San Diego during this 6-week layoff that the Eagles have here, and Carson Wentz chiming in and saying that he would be in attendance at those workouts, which I think is hilarious. It's like, when you're making friends around people and you're with a group of people and there's that one person there that you're like, they probably won't say yes to coming or whatever. But everyone else is here now. Might as well tell them about the plans, and then we'll see what happens. I feel like that's what Sam did. He's like, yeah, everyone come to this open practice, and then Carson Wentz is like, yeah, I'll come, and it's just like, cool, man. All right, I'll see you there. I feel like it was one of those things where Sam Bradford, obviously he's gonna be a good sport about it, be like, yeah, thanks for coming out, Carson. But did Sam Bradford really want Carson Wentz at his throwing camp? I mean, I don't know. I feel like he wants that one-on-one time with Ertz, Matthews, Aguilar for the receivers this year. But you know what? I'm glad Carson Wentz is going, so it's cool. Also, I'm not sure if you saw it. You probably did. If you're subscribed to our channel, you definitely saw it. And subscribe to our channel because there's going to be more videos like this coming out. Tom put together a nice little highlight reel of for Malcolm Jenkins. The video is titled The Deal. I put the link to the video in the description of this video. So make sure you check it out. It's great. Tom put that whole thing together. I know I'm the video guy, but that was 100% Tom. The music is music that Tom and his producer put together. So it's totally our music. So not going to get hopefully dinged for any music copyright issues. So make sure you guys check that out. Subscribe to the YouTube channel, guys. If you want, more videos like that, let us know. We'll try and do our best to pump them out. It's kind of hard with restrictions and whatnot, but we love making the videos for you guys. We love entertaining you guys, keeping you in the loop. So if you want to see more stuff like that, subscribe. Let us know. I'm sure you're gonna be like, yeah, that was good. I don't think anyone's gonna watch it and be like, a Malcolm Jenkins highlight video. Man, I don't want to watch that. Who doesn't want to watch that? So thank you for watching, guys. Also, haven't talked about him for a while. Make sure you guys follow Connor Miles on Twitter. He's our writer that Tom brought on. He also does a lot of stuff on his own. This kid is constantly going out there, and he's covering the Eagles at all times. So make sure you follow him at Miles Street because he's putting out good stuff, and he's always talking Eagles on Twitter. So make sure you check him out. He's a great guy to follow. Next, let's go into Bird Buzz. Let's do the question. We got a bunch of them today, so we're going to roll through them. We got 3 from one John Montana 13, and I'm feeling good today, John, so I'm gonna answer them all. But typically we keep it to 1, but I've never seen your handle before, so I'm going to humor you, and I'm going to answer all 3 of your questions today. So, first question at Little Chubb 1990, Chubb Nation. He's been with us since the very beginning. He played in our Views from the Link. It was Real Chip TV at the time, but he played in our Views from the Link fantasy league. He asked, Kieran Barner is getting a lot of attention in practice. Who's the backup spot truly belong to? Sproles, Barner, or Smallwood? I got to go with Sproles right now. Sproles is just your guy. He's a speedy veteran. They're saying that he's still looking really fast in camp. And, I think Barner or Smallwood are gonna fight it out for that 3rd job, but at the end of the day, I do think it's gonna be your depth chart's gonna go Matthews, Sproles, Barner, Smallwood, and we'll see what happens. That could change throughout the season, but right now going into the season, barring any injuries, that's what it's gonna be. At Tyler Green Kid asks, will the Eagles running backs be a threat in the receiving game as much as the years past with Brian Westbrook and LaShawn McCoy? I think they will be a threat. I mean, they're not gonna be no Brian Westbrook and LaShawn McCoy, because those two were just, Westbrook was the best at that. That was his game, was catching balls out of the backfield. So I don't think you're going to get the production to that degree. But I thought last year, I thought the backs did a good job catching passes out of the backfield. Ryan Matthews, not the best hands, but, he caught a couple balls. DeMarco Murray, I know he should not be named, but DeMarco Murray, actually, I thought did a great job catching passes out of the backfield last year, and Darren Sproles was phenomenal. So, I'm talking in terms of average other running backs. They're not phenomenal in comparison to Brian Westbrook. Brian Westbrook is in his own echelon. LaShawn McCoy is pretty good at it too. So I do think they'll be productive, but not to that extent, that's for sure. But it'll be interesting to see what Smallwood can do. I think he's going to be a pleasant surprise this year if he can get on the field. At Showtime 804 asks, would bringing back D'Amico Ryans be a good idea if we had concerns about depth at middle linebacker? I think he'd be good if someone got hurt and like you really needed a veteran that could come in and play. I mean, with D'Amico Ryans, you definitely saw that he was declining, and to be honest, he's had trouble staying on the field too. So I don't know if you can really bring in a guy that to fill in. For someone getting hurt, if you have a good feeling that he's going to get hurt. So I kind of like the younger guys that we have. I think that, we got some draft picks that we invested in linebacker, and I think you gotta have to let those guys, see what they got this year. I think this year's going to be a really good year. I do think we're going to be competitive this year, and I'm standing by this. We're going to win a division and win a home playoff game. But I think this is a great year to evaluate and see what you have in this system. You have your crash test dummy of Sam Bradford. And, you have this defense to see what they're going to be like, this new Jim Schwartz defense. So I think it's going to be a good year to evaluate and see what you have moving forward. So that's why I think you should stay a little younger at the positions if you can. At Rob Gerstle 32 asks, what linebacker do you think will come off the field when the defense goes into the nickel formation? Hicks, Kendricks, or Bradham? I'm going to say Hicks is definitely staying on the field, and I think the rotation will be between Kendricks and Bradham. I guess we'll see who performs better, but I would imagine that Hicks will most likely not come off the field unless he has to, because Hicks, you saw that guy can cover running backs out of the backfield and tight ends. Like, he has some pretty good coverage skills. He's pretty quick. So it'll be interesting to see what Kendricks Bradham can do and the two linebacker set, but I know for a fact Hicks is going to be on the field. Those two, I think it's a little more up in the air. I think it can change depending on what the defense throws at you. All right, here comes the 3 questions from John Montana 13 asks. So we're going to roll through them. If Bradford goes down with an injury, will Wentz see some action on the field, or will Daniel get to go? I think it depends on the injury. Obviously, if Bradford goes down in the game, typically you only dress 2 quarterbacks. So Daniel's probably going to be the quarterback that they dress on game day with Bradford. So Daniel would be thrust in right away. However, I think if the injury is something very long term, I'd imagine you would see something where Daniel would start 1 or 2 games and then Wentz would come in. Because then at that point, if Bradford goes, God forbid, he goes down week 11, and you see, I think that in that situation you would have Daniel play 2 or 3 games, and then you have Wentz finish out the rest of the season. So I think the immediate solution, if it's a short-term injury, you put Daniel in. But if Bradford's out for a significant stretch, and by significant I mean I'd say over 4 or 5 games, that would be time to see Carson Wentz and see what you got. Next question. Who will get the starting corner spot next to Rowe, and who will get the slot corner spot? I got to go starting. I'm going to have to say Nolan Carroll. I just think that I think he played very well for us this year, and at this point, it's his job to lose. However, I do see a steady rotation at the corners this year. I think there's going to be some guys that can come in. Corner spot right now, I got to go Leotis McKelvin. However, Jalen Mills has been turning a lot of heads in camp, and that's where your next question is, will Jalen Mills see the field at corner or safety? And I think he's going to come. I think we'll see him at corner. This guy is playing. He would have got drafted much higher if he didn't have these character issues. And I think this guy is playing with a major chip on his shoulder, which I love to see. So I do think that Jalen Mills will get some time at corner. Safety, probably not so much, just because you're so good at safety with Jenkins and McLeod that I just don't see him getting in at the safety position. Next question is at Jake Leonard 55 asks, is Marcus Smith going to have his breakout year? I think he'll be better this year. Breakout year, I don't see it happening, mostly on the fact that he's the 4th D end on the depth chart. I mean, you have Curry and Graham, and then you have Barwin. So I see those 3 rotating a lot, and then Marcus Smith is kind of like your odd man out. So I think Marcus Smith will play a little better this year. I don't know how good he will do, but I just don't know if he'll be able to get on the field enough to really have a quote-unquote breakout year. But I do expect an improvement, though, from him, that's for sure. Next question, at Ninja Zay asks, what players do you see getting cut or released next offseason? That's an interesting question. I'm going to say players that would get cut. If Ryan Matthews doesn't do well, he'll get cut. Jason Peters' contracts, I believe's up. He'll be gone, even though that's not really getting cut. If Marcus Smith doesn't do well, he's definitely getting cut. Michael Kendrick, I think if Michael Kendrick has a really bad year, he would get cut just because we do have a lot of money invested in him, and he signed that big contract before last year and didn't play well last year. So I think if he doesn't do good this year, I do think that he'd be cut as well. And yeah, those are the 4 guys that I could definitely see getting cut. That's for sure. Next question, at JBrad13 asks, who are some underrated players on this team that will make their presence known this year and can help us win a Super Bowl this year? I love, Justin, the optimism every week. You're keeping us up. You're keeping us high every week with these comments. Underrated players on the team. I'm gonna go. I have a really good feeling about Jalen Mills. Just to wait it there. I think he's gonna come in and be a spark plug. Ruben Randall. I don't think a lot of people are talking about it. Every time Ruben Randall played us, yeah, he had Odell Beckham to draw the coverage, but every time Ruben Randall played us, we put up good numbers. I think he's a pretty good receiver, and with you're going to be able to rotate him in the slot and Jordan Matthews in the slot. So I think those 2 guys, guy from each side of the ball, I think that those guys are really going to do well. I'm really hype on Ruben Randall this year. I think he's going to do great, and it'll be interesting to see what happens. Next question, final question is actually from Tom, who obviously is not here today. He asked at Aresco. For him being one of my best friends and co-host, I butcher his handle all the time on Instagram. We started the web series around training camp last year. Yes, we did. Compared to that time leading up to camp, how are you feeling different about the team now? Well, when we started this last year and we had Bradford, Chip Kelly, and Adam Schefter picked us to go to Super Bowl, I was so hyped on this team. I predicted the Eagles go 13-3 last year, and Tom predicted them to go 12. No, he predicted them to go 14-2. But these are videos that we made in the summer, so it's kind of hard to speculate. We're looking at games one at a time, so don't let that make it seem like we're total idiots, because we're not. We were just very hyped and excited, like most of us were last year. But honestly, I guess because I was so hyped last year, I couldn't possibly be that hyped this year. But our team is much better than it was last year, so I'm excited about that. With the Carson Wentz thing, I think I can't say I'm as hyped as I was last year, but I'm more informed now, if you will. And I think moving forward towards this year, I'm feeling really good about what we have. I do think we're going to win the division and host that home playoff game and somehow scrape out a W in that one. So I do feel good about this team going forward. Not as good, but still pretty good. So thank you for joining me, guys. I will see you on Monday for the weekly chirp. Make sure you check out Tom Aresco's highlight video. If you like it, go over there, like that video. If you want more, comment below. What player would you want to see next? What highlight video would you want to see next? Thank you, guys. Have a great weekend, like I said, and I will see you next time.